Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cheap Heat Live on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. I'm your forever 24/7 champion, Peter Rosenberg. I am coming to you today from Indianapolis, Indiana. That's right. I don't know if you know, guys, there's a wrestling event here called Wrestlepalooza. I'm not just making that up. That is the actual event, and it is happening. And today at 3 o'clock, there's actually a special about said event airing on ESPN2, hosted by yours truly at 3 o'clock. We'll get to that. But for now, I bring in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the physically large StatGuy, Greg.
What's up, fellas? Sadly, reporting that Greg History Week is over. I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry. I know it's hard for you.
It is.
Yeah, everything has to come to an end. And also coming to us from Los Angeles, California, before making his way, I'm told, to Indianapolis, Indiana. It is 38-35 Dipperstein. Hey, pal.
I'm ready for the Palooza, dude.
You're gonna come palooza it up?
I'm gonna be paloozing and paloozing. Yeah. Wrestlepalooza is the easiest abbreviated thing. I'm texting people about Palooza. I'm saying Palooza, dude.
And by the way, we haven't even talked about the level of gimmick infringement, considering Peter Palooza was an epic event for like 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was there.
You made it to a Peter Palooza. SUG, you go to a Peter Palooza?
I don't think I got to one.
Wow. Your parents wouldn't take you to that either, huh? Just like WrestleMania.
No.
Do you remember the epic dinner we had one night after the one Peter Palooza? It was quite something.
Do you mean the dinosaur one?
No. It was at the place that we like. Your place.
Was it Carbone?
Jacob's Pickles?
Yeah, Jacob's Pickles.
Oh, this was the Amber Rose, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yes.
Who else was there?
I don't know. I just remember in that moment. I remember, like, I didn't realize it was Odell Beckham Jr. And Amber's like, "This is my boyfriend Odell." I'm like, "Oh, how you doing? Hi, I'm Dipperstein."
I remember during that dinner telling Dip, "This guy is a very big deal. This is peak Odell. This is, oh God, I almost said I shouldn't say it, but I should. This isn't Stephon Diggs of this era, okay? This is Odell Beckham Jr. At that time, he was full Odell Beckham Jr. And then there was someone else, Mage, at the dinner.
Anyways, it was the rapper. It was like some huge rapper or something. It was like, I don't know if it was Mr. Killa, Mr. Ghostface Killa, or it was somebody like that.
No, it was a legend.
Yeah, there was a legend. I think
because this was the night ASAP Rocky did my birthday. So, but it wasn't ASAP Rocky. Was it Bronson? Who came? I don't remember. But it was.
I think it could have been Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee could have.
By the way, does anyone have pictures on their phone from this night? Someone should have pictures on their phone from this night.
I have nothing. Nothing.
I got news for you.
Was that epic that there are no pictures?
Yeah, and I got news for
That's
you.
What that means.
I got news for you. There's someone who could have pictures of it, and if so, she's probably deleted them. That's unfortunate. God, that is an annoying. Let me tell you something, kids out there listening to the show, and don't worry, we have so much wrestling to talk. But let me tell you something. Divorce creates a major problem with the pictures. The problem is part of being married is having someone else to document your life. And then when the person is gone, the documentation, if not handled properly, is gone as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
in their perspective, it is handled properly.
Well, I mean, by the way, every person is different. I personally believe that to break up with someone and then physically delete the photos in an era where we live with digital photos, to me, that is psychotic behavior. If it was your actual life, like you don't want, wait till you calm down. You don't want to delete your actual life. That is stupid, really stupid. Now, I have another problem though, that's deeper than that. Although more easily solved, but still a pain in the ass. The physical pictures of me the most physical pictures of me that may exist anywhere in the world,
like childhood in your parents' house, right?
well, probably that, yes. But second to that would be my teenage years, of which I have nothing. I have none of my teenage stuff, basically. My parents as a teenager maybe took 7 photos of me. I swear to you, once I got to be like not cute anymore, it was like, once I wasn't like rapping on the Super Bowl shuffle on camera or singing Born in the USA, there is no documentation that I was a human being. The only person who has them was my high school sweetheart. Now, I am still friends. I am still friends with her. No, we're fine. I can communicate with much more easily about these things. The problem is she's moved a lot, and all of her photos are currently in a storage of her mother's in Brasilia, Brazil.
Oh.
So
say goodbye to those pictures. You are never seeing those pictures. I could see that. This would be a great, I think you should leave sketch or something, like you traveling to Brazil to break into the mother's storage facility to see your teenage pictures. It's like,
I know it's a nightmare scenario. And I've talked to her about it. I'm like, hey, can I is there a way we can get the photos? She was like, yeah, when next time I go to Brazil, I'm like, oh God, I'm never getting these. Real quick, if you guys want to be a part of today's big Palooza, we call it Cheap Heat Palooza, by the way. If you want to be a part of it, the phone line's open, 877-344-4893, 877-344-4893. And guys, just a whole lot happening today. We have Drew McIntyre joining the show next hour.
Man.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
one of the great McIntyres.
I think so.
I mean, second only to Reba, I would say.
You think he's second to Reba? I think on the McIntyre Mount Rushmore, he might be Washington. Reba might be Jefferson.
Oh, stop! You're being silly. You're being silly.
You're more into Reba than Drew?
It's not about who we're into. It's about what the world dictates.
Yeah.
Reba,
and also, they're both a great time.
McIntyre.
I gotta say, she absolutely is though.
Reba is number one McIntyre. There's no question.
You think Reba's the number one McIntyre?
There's not even a question.
Easily.
There's like, what do you mean?
I'm thinking Drew McIntyre has surpassed Reba.
She's the Kleenex of McIntyres. I'm telling you right now, there's no one bigger than Reba. I love Drew. I'll say it right to his face. I don't think there's enough he can do to surpass Reba.
What do you mean? I make an amazing country album?
Well, no, first it starts with beating Cody Rhodes tomorrow. All right. First, you got to beat Cody Rhodes for the championship.
Then make it, and then learn how to play the banjo.
You think you go banjo?
Yeah, and then maybe he records a beautiful country album. Country's a very hot genre right now.
It's very very hot.
He can do it. I mean, listen, we love Drew. No disrespect, but when I think about WrestleMania 8, there are 2 performers that Drew McIntyre is just not gonna supersede, no matter how made she gets. He's not going to look better in a kilt than Roddy Piper. He is not going to be more mage than Reba McIntyre. It's just that simple.
I think you should ask him. I think.
How do you spell McIntyre again? I literally, every time I try to spell it,
it's one of the hardest names to just off the top of your head to spell
MCI. It's MCINTYRE.
Yeah. She goes MCE, I believe.
Is that right?
I believe she does go MCE.
Could Reba be Drew's father or mother? Is she old enough?
I searched for famous McIntyres.
Yeah.
Here's what we have. It's not what you'd think, considering it's a pretty popular name.
Okay.
The only 3 that I'm familiar with. You have Drew McIntyre, who's of course Drew Galloway. You have Reba McIntyre, who is number 1 on this list, the Queen of Country, as she's known. Big title to have.
And I'll be the.
And then we can't ever forget Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block.
One of the great McIntyres.
There's Robert McIntyre, a Scottish professional golfer who's actually playing right now. Was really good in the U.S. Open. In academia, there's some other McIntyres, but yeah, there's not a ton of famous McIntyres. What do you think of that?
I think Joey might bump Drew down.
No.
I'm sorry, man.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, SUG. Here's what I got to worry about both of my partners. You have Dip, who every once in a while makes a joke and doesn't know quite where the line is if someone will smack you in the face. We saw it almost happen with LA Knight. We saw it. And then you have
Live.
And then at Cheap Heat Live, it was very uncomfortable when Dip went, "Who are you again?" Oh my God. I thought it was I thought it was good night and good luck. And then you have SGG, who's much smarter about these situations, but when he does say something, because of his physical stature now, you may be in a fight. Like Drew McIntyre can look at you, SGG, and think we could shoot the fair one.
I mean, look, he could, and he would absolutely win. In fact, I would take the beating and then file a lawsuit just to FYI.
Of course you would. File it yourself.
Absolutely. But I mean, come on. We're talking about Joey McIntyre. The kid's a heartthrob.
The kids are by the way,
beautiful.
How did SGG, speaking of ESPN, the theme of the weekend,
man.
how did SGG just turn into Stephen A. Smith? Not with the voice tone, but with what he just said. I mean, we're talking about Joey McIntyre.
We are.
He could sing. All right.
He could. He's got the right stuff.
How do we know that we're talking about musical artists? How do we know that Drew McIntyre can't sing? And could he sing as good as Joey McIntyre or Reba McIntyre?
We know that he can't sing because after he lost to Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle, he sang with the boxer. What's his name? Tyson Fury.
See?
Right.
And they both were just
this is why
they didn't have the vocals. It was entertaining, but they didn't have the Joey McIntyre smooth velvety vocals.
This is why you don't ever disrespect the stat guy, because he has a stat sitting right there. All right, here's what we do. We have a lot to get to today, friends. We got a whole lot of conversation to have today to get you ready for Wrestlepalooza. Talk about all the things going on. I also, guys, got a question on the Patreon this week that I think is great to have here. Someone threw out with the WWE WrestleMania to Saudi news. Isn't this the ultimate time for AEW to try to counter program and throw a massive event at a similar time in the United States?
I don't think they should do it at a similar time. No, I think they should do it at the regular WrestleMania time, like prime time. It's going to be open. Was WWE going to make the Saudis stay up until 2 p.m., 2 a.m. for WrestleMania to air at 8 p.m. here? Because
basically the question that came to the Patreon was, if you were AEW, what major city would you run in to counter program to WrestleMania? And I thought it was a very interesting thought. You know, we've gotten into this weird world of counter programming. We're seeing it this weekend where now Wrestlepalooza has knocked the AEW pay-per-view. I think, what are they starting at noon now?
Yeah,
I believe
totally.
So, yeah.
They shifted everything, right? If you're noticing, you know, fans having a lot to say about WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, if you're AEW, it's an interesting thought. What city would you go to if you wanted to say, hey, there's an opening? Because, guys, where's the big WrestleCon going to be that year? Where's all the big indie shows going to be that year? It's just interesting conversation for us to speculate on as the show goes on.
And an obvious answer that I'm going to give to you.
Oh, you have an obvious answer?
I do have an obvious answer.
All right, well, maybe you can get to it next. And then we'll get into the card of Wrestlepalooza and talk about everything else that was the week in professional wrestling right here on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. This is Cheap Heat Live.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following: World Wrestling Federation Activewear by Weiner. Exciting tops and bottoms for the warriors and Hulkamaniacs in your family. Youth and adult sizes now available nationwide.
Welcome back to Cheap Heat Live, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. Peter Rosenberg, StatGuy, Greg Dipperstein. I mentioned it at the top of the show, and I'll mention it a couple more times because I'm very excited. I mean, guys, 3 o'clock on ESPN2. I am hosting the first ever true ESPN WWE show ever. 3 o'clock today on ESPN2. And my co-hosts for the show are none other than the great Big Etor, a.k.a. Big E. That's a former world champion to you and me. Money in the Bank winner. Tag champion. Part of the greatest tag team of all time. And near champion, but not quite, but one day, Tyrese Halliburton. We will all be together on ESPN2 at 3 o'clock p.m. SUG, you rolled your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, as a New Yorker, near champion is as close as I hope he ever gets. As close as he got this year is as close as I hope he ever gets to an NBA championship. He seems like a great guy.
Oh, he
seems like me and I. He and I will get along great. That's what it seems like. But when that shot clock goes on and when it's time for basketball minutes, I wish him nothing but the worst, at least against the New York Knicks.
He is not popular in New York, but I will tell you one thing, New Yorkers, be prepared for a heavy dose of Tyrese Halliburton this weekend.
He's everywhere. Yeah.
I would assume he is currently injured, so there's no preparation for this NBA season happening right now. He is out for the entire year. And this event is in his town, and he truly loves it. He's a great talker. So I would assume you're going to get yourself a heavy dose of Mr. Halliburton. Speaking of people who can talk from Indianapolis, does anybody know what the role of Pat McAfee is going to be at the Palooza?
I thought he was on commentary.
It's been announced. Yeah, I was going to say, Dip. I believe it's been announced that he's going to be returning to commentary.
Oh, so that's official. I didn't know that.
I think Triple H said it last month.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's going to be on commentary. He's making his triumphant return.
So so they're going to go. It'll be back to the Cole, Wade, Pat, which makes sense because I mean they had really just gone down for PLEs to Cole and Wade. So it's easy enough to just slide him back in to that spot. I guess the question then becomes though, do we see him again after that, or is it like no, he's back for this one because it's in Indy and it's only right?
I have no idea. I won't I'll speculate, but I
will speculate, but it's based on nothing.
It's based on nothing. I think it's I think it's a one-off for now. That's my prediction.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It is a very interesting situation. Nobody seems to know exactly what happened with the McAfee of it all. But yeah, I think it's just for this. But by the way, Pat is so busy and does so much. I have kind of always felt that in the end, it would land on he is a special event guy. The week-to-week haul of doing WWE TV as like a side job in addition, like take it as someone who does a lot of jobs. It's not the same as having like 2 radio shows in the same city. It's the travel part, the preparation part. It's a bear. Even if you have a private jet, even if you have all the things Pat can have, it's still just a bear. So
I mean,
yeah, we're gonna have a lot of
private jet, right? Because then you got to refuel it. You gotta pay for all of that.
I don't think he's physically fueling the jet, but
no, but I mean, the bill is going somewhere.
I don't think he's physically paying for fuel the jet either. But I'm saying even with the comfort of flying that way, it still ends up taking a toll on you. Listen, I'll never know. To me, it seems quite easy to jump on a private jet, but I imagine if you do it every week, the travel still gets really hard. Just a lot of work.
Guys, I'm not to change the subject. I am watching Match of the Week. I watched it on Friday, but I'm reliving it right now to my left on my television in my beautiful home.
So just to reiterate, though, when you said not to change the subject, you meant let's 100% change the subject, which I'm good with. But go ahead.
Yeah, I figured you'd be good with it. Sami Zayn and Rey Fenix had Match of the Week this week. Okay. There's no question. It's a reminder that Sami Zayn is still one of the best wrestlers in the world, one of the best in-ring technicians, and has some of the best in-ring IQ of anyone in wrestling. And he does it with arguably somebody who is the best, as far as in-ring wrestlers, top 5 on earth, Rey Fenix. Why are we forgetting about Rey Fenix? Why is Rey Fenix an afterthought right now? The man is an insane wrestler, one of the best there is. I think it is time at this point to move him together with Penta and have them just dominate the tag division. I think it's I'm not pented out. I love Penta.
We love Penta. You mean
we love Penta.
But you've had enough.
Yes, I think it is now time to have these two become, the dominant tag team in the division and really challenge for the
Well,
belts.
There was that thing early on of people wanting to keep them apart. Like, hey, let's not just go right to Penta and Rey Fenix being together. And I think they thought, oh, well, it's almost like a waste. But I think what people forget is there's so much talent right now in that locker room that sometimes I think there's strength in numbers.
Agreed.
And if you're separate, they can both end up in sort of less significant spots, whereas together they naturally gain power. So like, I don't know. I hear what people were saying. I think you're better off not fighting it also. And like, let's get them together and let it be Mage. I think you're more like, if you want them to be Mage, just because of the landscape of talent, I think they're more likely to be made together. SGG, you agree or disagree?
I sort of disagree. I think that by them being made, they are huge right now as single stars. I think Penta
Ray Phoenix is not huge as a single star right now.
I think Penta's more huge than Ray Phoenix, but I think Ray Phoenix is huge. I think
huge.
Huge.
Yeah,
How is he huge?
When was his last PLE match?
He has a great look.
When was his last PLE match?
I don't know if he had a first PLE match, but the thing is,
so that would probably counter the huge thing.
Yeah. Well, no, he was on his way though, because they had him with Andrade, and it looked like they were definitely going to pick up the tag division on SmackDown and win those titles. It felt like to me. Now with the news of Andrade potentially departing WWE, that
is it potential? I thought he was gone.
I didn't see anything from WWE that made it official, but he has moved to their alumni section, so he might be gone.
That sounds official.
That feels official. Without a press release, though, it could be. I don't know how much of that is they playing me.
That's true. It's always on the table.
Now every time someone leaves, it's going to be a work.
It's possible. It's possible without a press release. But yeah, I feel like that threw a monkey wrench in Ray Phoenix, but it didn't. I don't think it slowed him down. And as we saw with the match with Sami Zayn, like you can put him in that spot, he can get to where Penta is. And I think that once they are huge single stars, then you put them together and they immediately light up the division. Whereas if you put them together right away, they risk becoming what MCMG became, and it's like an initial shot in the arm for the division, and then they're just another tag team, unfortunately. And I'm talking about guys who won the tag titles.
They're not just. It's a risk.
It's a risk.
But they're not just another tag team, Craig. This is the Lucha Bros. They're mage of the highest level.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But you could have said that about MCMG too. That this is not just another tag team. In fact, they said it right.
What is that again? I don't even. What is that again? Sorry,
Motor City Machine Guns. But that's my point, though. Right?
They're so big. They're so big that you don't even know what their nickname is. I didn't know either.
Yeah, I didn't forget.
What the hell is it? MCMG ain't the. First of all, I've never called them that. The Motor City.
I've never heard that before. Is that
the Motor City Machine Guns are not the Lucha. They're not the Lucha Bros.
No, they're not.
See what I mean? But that's the risk right here. That's the risk that you
have.
But
strength in numbers, like I feel the same way about like the Kabukis. Like I struggle. Like them together as a team, I think is much more interesting than them together as singles performers at the moment. Like when they came back together a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I'm with Dip and I are in lockstep. I'm sorry. SGG lost me at the point of Ray Phoenix is huge. I think that everyone who's involved in these, the problem with the mid card is it's just very easy in this current mid card to be lost. It's just the way it is. It is so stacked. You know, and we talked about this recently. Not everyone who shows up here is going to be AJ Lee. Right. Most are not. It's just the nature of the beast. Go ahead.
You almost said it, and I want to before I speculate, I want to see if you are going to stand on this. Are you saying that if you're in the mid card, you can't be huge, or it's just like, does the mid card separate between you're in the mid card and you're huge, or you're in the mid card and you're under a certain ceiling?
I'm saying there are only a couple people who live in the mid card and are also simultaneously big. Like I would say Dominic lives in the mid card basically, but he's big.
Sami Zayn. Right now,
Sami Zayn, they both like are this teetering where they're mid card. Penta a little below them, but yes, I mean
Penta below.
Yeah. So then you're right. You're right. Huge was not the right term for Ray Phoenix that right now.
Penta, you know what Penta is right now? I'm not saying he won't be this.
What is Penta?
Penta is if we were still having house shows. Penta would be like gigantic house show pop. All the kids go crazy. Great match. But when it comes to the meaningful TV, it's more like fun TV, not meaningful TV. That's the place that a lot of these mid-card baby faces to me end up living. So I to go all the way back to it, I don't hate your take. I know there are people who hate on it, but I think Lucha Bros coming together would actually make them a bigger thing. It would be a good shot in the arm for the tag division.
Yeah, because the Penta thing is now we've seen it. We love the entrance. We love the gear. We know we've seen it. We've seen what we've seen, and now it's time to move on. That's all. Unless he's selling so much merch that with this current state, that's a different story. But like, I don't know. Is he? I don't know. I like Penta. I'm a big Penta guy.
I know that. No one's doubting it. No one's doubting that you've got love for Penta. All right, SGG. So we asked a question earlier. And by the way, guys, if you're listening to us live now on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, we appreciate you very much. Do remember you can subscribe to the Cheap Heat Live podcast wherever you find podcasts. And don't forget also to go search us on Instagram, man. We've been putting up a ton of Instagram content every single day. Emilio's hard at work getting those posts up. So we would love to have you follow us on Instagram, Cheap Heat Pod on Instagram. Get down with the conversation. We'd love to have you there. But SGG, we teased before the break. If you're AEW and you're like, hey, because basically the message I got was, I got a couple of emails from annoyed WWE fans who are bummed about the Saudi trip, the Saudi Mania, because number one, they either go to Mania every year and it doesn't feel realistic to them, or, you know, they felt like, oh, we thought it was going to New Orleans, blah, blah, blah. So someone suggested an opportunity for Tony Khan to counter program and say, hey, there's an open season for a massive stadium tour where the wrestling world for a weekend can focus on that. You said, SGG, there was an obvious answer of where to go would be. And I'm curious to where you land. I can, and I'll see if it's the same one that I said I assumed first on the podcast or the Patreon.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las
Vegas, Nevada is the obvious answer. Why? Because WWE just did WrestleMania from Vegas this year. They're going back next year, 2026. 2027, they're going to Saudi. But they already primed Vegas for, like, this is the big wrestling weekend of the year. WWE already did that setup, and they're leaving that void open. Not just at the timing stateside, but Las Vegas is going to be ready for it. They would have done 2 Manias. They could handle AEW and the other indies coming in and doing a stateside super show in Vegas because WWE already set that up. And then if you think about the essence of AEW, right, when they first started with that all in, even before AEW, true. It was them and Ring of Honor, which they now own, and New Japan and a bunch of other indies that put on that super show that became AEW. So they could give a show of that feel, not necessarily Forbidden Door, but something that's more true to the essence of the original All In from Vegas. And then it allows them to also lean in to those Vegas themes that have become their staple. The casino battle royal, these chips, that, like, all the Vegas iconography has really been
let me push back,
iconography.
Let me push back, though. At the same time, it's a place that a lot of wrestling fans will have gone for 2 years in a row for a big trip. And there could be people like, I'm just Vegased out. My assumption was, just based on what they seem to do in general, was Chicago, because they seem to always go run Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Although if I were them, I think maybe the place to go is somewhere in Texas. One of those places that we know is really good for these things. Did they already do Dallas? No, they didn't do Dallas. They did Houston.
I think they did Houston.
Who knows?
You went, Dip. You went. It was just like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was in Arlington.
It was
at the Ranger Stadium.
Okay,
yeah,
it was Dallas.
So it is Dallas. So they already did that. But you said the setup was really good, right?
Yeah, it was freaking amazing, that event. It was electric. And the stadium was huge and awesome.
And that was the Arlington Stadium. That wasn't the football stadium. I could see Tony Khan, by the way, Tony Khan, owner of the Jaguars, having a little conversation with Jerry, getting himself a nice deal, and trying to get over to Jerry World. But I think it would be
that feels too ambitious.
It'd be very ambitious.
Yeah,
it'd be very ambitious.
WWE worked that number. What they say, like 180,000 people. It wasn't 180, but it was like
no, they said it was like close to 100 though, right? High 90s.
They did. I think it went over.
No, low hundreds. They went low hundreds.
Yeah, it was insane. So
that's a huge number. A lot happened on wrestling programming this week as we head to the Palooza, which includes the Palooza, bruh, which of course includes this guy, John Cena. He's going to have a match against Brock Lesnar. He had his, I can't believe it, he already had his last Raw appearance. It happened. The dates have gone that fast. Here's John.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me go to John again. John, trying to talk to you here. All right, there he is. John?
I could. Will I back down? Will I give up? Hell no! We will take the fight to the beast because that is what we do.
He's taking the fight to the beast.
Listen to the energy.
The beast
Brock, this
Mortis.
Saturday at Wrestlepalooza in a history-making event broadcast for the first time on ESPN.
Do you guys know that it was going to be on ESPN this weekend?
Yeah, is this pay-per-view going to be with ESPN? This one?
It is. This is the first one. It's a PLE. First PLE on ESPN is this. It's tomorrow.
Right.
Yep.
Beast squares off against the last real champion. It is a final showdown of two generational titans.
Just so you guys know.
I don't give a damn how
In case, yeah. You mean you quoting him? Yeah.
many suplexes are in your city. I founded Suplex City and taken your best shot for over 20 years, and I'm still standing. Just like that guy's sign says, my jorts are stronger than your jeans. And Saturday, I'm ready for war, baby. You want some? Go get some.
So
He's going to fight him. They're going to fight the match.
So you're talking about, you want to talk about like standard issue classic Cena. That is, and this will be an interesting test to me, by the way. It will, because people have been so high on the Cena matches since he turned babyface. It's like all of a sudden, okay, we didn't love how the heel turn ended, but we love this version of John Cena. But now SGG, we got fully into it the way that ended. We're fully there. Like, it's just good old boy John. And I'm just curious to see how this match plays out. And we'll take one more break. And I want your predictions on this match, because I think this is not a completely straightforward call to me on what happens between John Cena and Brock Lesnar and what kind of match they have. Because frankly, if you guys remember the history of Cena and Lesnar matches, they generally do not look like typical John Cena matches.
I have two thoughts, two ideas of what I think could happen and have a result that people enjoy. One is that Lesnar destroys him and beats him to a pulp. And you know, as a in storyline, you tell the people he can no longer. This was the end of his run. Brock Lesnar has destroyed him. All the last few appearances that you thought you were going to get are no longer possible. And then you have him make at the end, his final match is some like triumphant return, and he get like, it's the biggest pop ever. It's the biggest pop of all. Okay. There's
That's
that.
fun. I don't hate that.
That could be fun.
Of course, everything. Real quick, though, I want to hear the second one. Real quick, though, of course, all of those things are like ruined by the modern day version of wrestling because, yeah, everyone sees the dates and they know he's going to be in Perth, and there's no way he's going to cancel that. I hear what you're saying.
Well, like it could say, he's not going to be there, but like whatever.
Okay.
He could still appear, but he could be injured. You're never going to see him wrestle again. That was his last match. I don't know, something along those lines. It's a wishful thought. It's never going to happen.
Okay.
The second thought is that we use this. I mean, it's going to be hard for him to lose. Contrary to what I just said, it's going to be hard for him to lose. So perhaps somebody helps him win, which sets up Lesnar's next feud. I mean, John Cena is going away. Brock Lesnar is here to stay, essentially, for as far as we know. So we need, maybe somebody costs Brock Lesnar this match, and it sets up whatever Brock Lesnar's next feud is, but Cena ends up on top in some sort of schmoz. That's how I see this going. It's not going to be a clean win for John Cena over Brock Lesnar. No chance.
It will not be a clean John Cena win over Brock Lesnar. No chance?
No, I don't see that happening.
I think there's a chance. I think
he just cleanly beats him with an F5 with the attitude adjustment.
Yeah.
No way. No way, sir.
It'll be a couple of attitude adjustments, but I think that will be the finishing move, and he's gonna go over.
No way. No way.
No way? You're going with no way.
Yeah, I'm going with, hey, no way, no chance in hell.
I don't know why you think that. I definitely think there's a chance he just digs deep. John Cena gave Brock some glorious wins back in the day. Got his ass beat by Brock on multiple occasions. I could see John being due to somehow score just an incredible miracle, a battle. They battle where at the end they even like show love to each other after the match, like that kind of war. I could see happening.
I think you're wrong. I think we have not seen Gunther in quite some time, And I think we have Gunther cost Brock Lesnar the match against John Cena.
Why would he do that?
It's because everyone wants to see Gunther Brock Lesnar.
But why would he get involved with John Cena's match with Brock Lesnar?
Because he doesn't like Brock Lesnar. He's picking a fight with him. It's nothing to do with Cena.
Why? He's like, yeah, your name's Brock Lesnar. Your name sounds German, but you're not a real German. I'm a real German, kind of Austrian.
Right.
I think they're gonna set up Brock Lesnar versus Gunther for Survivor Series.
Listen, what you're saying may be true, but how we get there, I'm with SGG. I don't see how you're saying we get there.
I smell a Gunther running. Do you smell
SGG, that? SGG, your prediction? You think Cena clean?
I agree. I think Cena clean. I do think, though, that after the match, we get what Dip's predicting, and that
all right. So
Lesnar,
you're saying it destroys that's what I'm saying. Then
it destroys him, and Gunther comes to save him.
No. There's not going to be any
Gunther.
But that
Cena's
Lesnar puts Cena in a state where it's like, okay, because they already said this is last SmackDown, but then he has all these there's all these other SmackDowns and Raws before the year is done. He done his last SmackDown and his last Raw. How is that possible? Because he gets wiped out, and he physically cannot be at any of these shows. That's what I think happens.
And from a storytelling standpoint, guys, how are you telling stories to get to these matches when he doesn't appear on any TV to get there?
Yeah, that's the tough part.
Like, what's he doing at Crown Jewel? Is he gonna fly to Australia to walk out and be like, hey guys, play my music? I mean, or
people are gonna like that though. The people are gonna want to sing along with his music and let him get away with that.
But or does like whatever happens at Palooza, it's just an instant rematch. And we don't need to see him on TV. We see Brock on TV, and it's announced that they have a rematch.
I think that's probably a likely scenario.
That could happen.
And then, yeah.
So you guys remember?
That doesn't feel interesting, though. How they get there is going to be...
Listen, this part's going to be complicated. This is going to be where people earn their money. Because, we're out of dates. We're out of now, you'll have that MSG show 2 weeks before Survivor Series. So you'll have a little bit to be able to build with there. But that gap of Perth in mid-October to Raw in mid to late November, that's a big gap to try to tell a story with John Cena.
Yeah, and that's what makes his heel run so frustrating. And it's like, whoever's responsible, I'm blaming The Rock, but I really have no idea because I'm here and not there, but I'm blaming The Rock. Unforgivable, inexcusable. Like, you wasted everybody's time and threw away something that was like, it had a lot of meat on the bone. Pause. It was so interesting, and we ended up with, what we got, which is just.
I know, it's the hard part. We ended up with these matches that are great. I've said this many times now. The result has been now we're all loving John's current matches because we missed it. But that doesn't change the fact that there were dates that you're just like, that was that date. That was all right.
Yeah.
So I did this Patreon episode this week. Someone said they had a suggestion in the mailbag about, we had the conversation last week. What could happen at the Saudi WrestleMania that we're not thinking of that would be epic?
Yeah.
And between his email suggestion of who it was and me thinking about, I then added the opponent. If you really want to go crazy, guys, if we got the final boss, which there are rumors that that he will end up on that show. What if we were to get the final boss and then you got this?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't mention Batista, guys. We did
Would
not.
The people go crazy? Would the people go crazy for Batista? That's a good question.
So.
I would.
They go crazy for every legend in Saudi Arabia. So that's one. It's a layup.
And also, I just didn't think the Batista ending that we got felt like the real ending. Did it? I don't feel like it ended.
It didn't feel like it, but it was very wrestling ending, right? He lost to the guy that he had beat all the time, never came back, and then even with the Hall of Fame, right? He was supposed to go in, but he never came back. Granted,
he's definitely one of my guys.
Batista's one of your guys.
Yeah. Batista's
really?
Yeah.
So there it is, guys. That was everybody. I didn't miss it, right?
No, I didn't see them at all.
Put Flair out there. Saudi.
Which with Batista?
Yeah. He had like a full like Evolution reunion. That'd be Mage.
That would be Mage, actually.
You know what? It's guys, it's a really good point. Like there aren't. Did we have a segment in the Batista? Did they do a full segment together with all of them?
What do you mean?
Like in like this current era?
Yeah, like when Batista came back.
No.
Was there a segment that involved all of them?
No. It was just the three of them. It was H, Orton, and Batista.
And Flair wasn't there.
Flair was never included in any of the Evolution stuff that they did.
When you think about the things that you could do that are like really retro and feel good and everybody's still here to do it, Evolution would be a potentially really fun thing to do. What do you choose, SUG, if you have to choose between the Evolution theme song and I Walk Alone? Where do you stand?
Evolution.
Me too.
Yep.
Easily.
I love the
Easily.
Evolution theme song. I'm a gigantic fan of the Evolution theme song.
So
One of the
much,
great theme songs.
so much so that when people talk about like evolution in a real sense, I actually pronounce it evolution.
Evolution. Yeah.
They're like, well, what do you think about, the idea of like, religion versus evolution? I go, excuse me? You mean
Right.
evolution?
Exactly.
I think it's pronounced evolution. So guys, there are other matches. There are other matches that we're going to have to get back to and talk about at Wrestlepalooza, because we only talked really about Cena and Lesnar. We didn't spend one moment on the AJ Punk, Becky, Seth of it all, which I think is worthy of some time as well.
I love that promo on Monday too.
From which person?
From Seth and Becky's point of like,
well, that's what I want.
It was beautiful. That's
fantastic. What I want to talk about with you. That's what I want to talk about with you, because everyone thinks this is such a basic heel babyface situation. I don't think it's as obvious as everyone thinks. I think there's more nuance here. This has been fascinating to watch because people are like just obviously over the moon about AJ coming back. She did an interview on SportsCenter this week. What a time we live in, by the way, where the ESPN thing is so big that AJ Lee's first interview back was on SportsCenter.
Should have been cheap, but
that's what I said. But either way, everyone's super into it. Her fans are incredibly passionate. And, now they're happy. Light it up, Dip. It's light it up.
Light it up.
That used to be a big gimmick on this show, by the way. For people who are new to Cheap Heat, and when I say new, I mean last 5 years, you don't remember when randomly in conversation for no reason I'd play this.
It wasn't randomly.
I hated it.
It wasn't randomly a conversation.
No, it wasn't. What was it?
It was not randomly a conversation. And also, you just unlocked a very deep Cheap Heat memory of me and my, trying to speak on the mic. I have a picture of me speaking and you with your finger over the button to play the song.
Wait, so why was I cutting you off with it?
I don't know.
I remember that happening.
This is hazing. This is you hazing. But
really?
That's where it came from, because this is me with Shoemaker days on Cheap.
It is the least gangster sounding song of in wrestling history, perhaps.
I mean, the song.
It makes Kelly's holla sound like F the police. Okay, it is soft as it gets. Anyways, her fans are super obviously passionate and super stoked.
Yeah. Welcome back, AJ Lee, by the way.
And so yeah, welcome back. It's a very exciting time. And so of course the dynamic is, Becky and Seth are just these evil heels. Becky is the greatest of all time, and it's not just me that says it. Sports Illustrated says it. ESPN says it. Everybody's saying it.
I say it. I love when Seth said, I say it.
Exactly. And yeah, that is hilarious. He has a pic. That picture is so funny. Is that video out, or it's been taken down? Probably.
It's probably been taken down. Yeah.
Our Grantland videos are like gone. Man, I don't have that shirt anymore either. It didn't look good on me. but it's a classic.
Finger on the button.
Yo, that is so funny, Dip. This picture. Do you send it to Dip too? Dip, look in the group chat.
I saw it.
Do you see my face? My obnoxious face that I'm like laughing because I'm about to interrupt him. Anyways, so the interesting thing to me, SGG, is that like obviously Becky and Seth are being presented as like the worst guys ever. But like the things AJ says and does and her attitude and then Punk sitting there like arms folded like, it's not as babyface-ish as it's either it's supposed to be or as it's being received, in my opinion. What do you think?
She said she was going to shank a chick, which I don't believe she's ever done, but she said she would.
Right.
Number one. No, number two, I did though. I really enjoyed the trap that Seth and Becky set for them, because Seth, I don't know if you realize this, but he said the exact same thing that CM Punk said. He said, I would never put my hands on a lady, but luckily I have someone who would. And he looked at Becky, and Becky was like, you can't be talking about me. You got us into this. Like, this is going
so
way
great.
further than it was supposed to. Like, I'm out of here. And it was the perfectly laid trap for AJ to be alone, and she got taken out. And then, what is Punk going to do? Because your wife is here because you're not going to put your hands on Becky Lynch. And now she's flat on her back looking up at the lights.
I loved that setup as well. I thought it was awesome. And I just, the interesting thing is that Seth, to me, always has a certain air of babyface because he is the one who stayed and Punk is the one who left.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much you want to cut it to make Seth evil, Punk is the one who left. Seth is the one who stayed. That's how the fans can view it always. And furthermore, the whole Punk notion of his bitterness, Drew just said it in the interview, SGG, and I was like, I kind of can't believe how little it gets mentioned. You're supposed to feel bad for Punk having what happened to him happen at SummerSlam when he did the exact same thing to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
No, sorry, except it wasn't even his title to take.
No.
He set up Priest to win the title. So how bad are we really supposed to feel for CM Punk, who really, if turnabout is fair play, he just got what was coming to him already?
Yeah. I didn't think about that either.
I know. He literally did the exact same thing. Also, props to Becky, because I knew the first time I heard her say, it's maybe 3 months ago now, when she said, I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And it's not just me who says it. Sports Illustrated says it.
Yeah. I've seen everybody steal your take, by the way. That
SGG, I said it.
You said first time on this show. Yeah.
First time she said it. I went, that is it. Yeah, I knew where she was going from the very beginning, that she was playing into that Trump line, because it's such a heelish thing to say, of everybody's saying. Because when you say everybody's saying something, it's you're saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a throwaway line you can just say to be, everyone's saying that SGG is looking horrible these days. Is that true? Who's
Probably
saying
not?
It?
Yeah.
Probably. Now, in her case, she has a specific thing that she says Sports Illustrated. So I'm guessing at some point, someone for Sports Illustrated at some point probably said it. But then she's made it this blanket statement, like Sports Illustrated put out an issue and she was on the cover and it said Becky Lynch, greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Right. It was a special edition where the whole magazine is dedicated to her, and it's 75 pages of just.
And I really think, SGG, tell me what you think here. I think some people have missed it. There were some awkward moments in Becky matches recently with Lyra. She's had a couple of spots outside on the table where she's like really goofily kind of getting slammed into the table. I think some people may be missing that that's all intentional. That it's all part of her looking like almost intentionally looking like a bit of a goofball, because she is such a heel. And I think it may be like, I don't think it's, I'm going to do a bad job doing this spot but I think it's to make the spot look somewhat goofy. I think there's a chance that's intentional.
I honestly, I agree with that. I think that because, right, if she says I'm the greatest of all time, and then she doesn't look goofy and every spot is perfect and she's super polished, then with her being a heel, she's actually making a legitimate case for it. But her saying that she's the greatest of all time and then delegitimizing it by looking goofy, it makes it even more heelish when she says it, because it's like it creates a bigger gap between quote unquote the work and her words. Now, she could add me to that list though of people who say she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. I think she's
in the convo. And actually, someone said that Barrington on our Patreon. He asked us the question: female Mount Rushmore or female, and then Sakari jumped in and said female tiers of Mage.
Exactly.
I think a female tiers of Mage would be awesome. And then Far jumped in and said, what about a tiers of Schlump? we did Mount Schlumpmore.
We did Mount Schlumpmore, yeah.
But we've never done tiers of Schlump, which I think would be great. Now, another, I was reading some messages before, back to those messages on the Patreon. CLKX88 says, who's someone cooking down and Evolve that we either haven't seen yet or haven't seen enough of? That's a really good question. Who would I say is dope that you haven't seen enough of yet?
That excludes my guys, Vanity Project, because they're all over the Evolve.
They're all over it. You know who I think has a lot of potential, and he has gotten some TV time for sure, but I think has the potential to be really big in a funny way. I'm not saying he's going to win a world championship, but really could have a great run. It's Gal.
Oh,
It's Gal is really funny, like really good comedic chops. And his one-liners that he has. Did you see when he put me on the Studometer?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
The way he insults people is hilarious. I think It's Gal has a lot of potential. So shout out to It's Gal.
You know who went down to Evolve and I started to like, yo, I like this guy more. I think it's Idris Enofe.
Oh yeah.
He did something that we said we'd never seen before, and I really don't think I have with a few weeks back with the turnbuckle spot.
Yeah.
Like he used his entrance to take off the turnbuckle, and then like it was just exposed for the match.
Evolve. I'm sorry. Idris, he obviously people have seen him before, but he has some big heel potential. That's where the sweet spot is for me for Idris. I think he could be great in that role. I think you're going to see more. I think Sam Holloway is incredibly talented for a huge guy. You want to talk about a big guy who's interesting and can do a lot? Sam Holloway. And then, of course, listen, kids are going to love when people get a real eye on Cappuccino Jones and Jack Cartwheel. Obviously, those guys just jump off the page.
Literally. In the case of Jack Cartwheel.
Yeah, super. Exactly. That's right. Harley Riggins and Jax Presley, I think, are also super duper talented, and you're going to see more of them. So yeah, there's a lot of people to see. And then a follow-up question that I see here, which is interesting. Someone asked, they said, hey, if Booker T and Vic Joseph can fill in on an episode of SmackDown, does that mean we can get some Rosenberg or Stone on NXT one day? I hope. I hope that would be the goal. But hey, for today, let's focus on what's coming up. 3:00 on ESPN2, the Wrestlepalooza special. Make sure you tune in. We hope you enjoy it. SGG, we'll do this again in a few days. Enjoy Wrestlepalooza and stay Mage this weekend.
Take it easy, man.